Well, hey there, everybody. I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Man, I hope you guys had an even near as spectacular a weekend as I did. The weather's just been amazing after about 5 or 6 days of gray, rainy, dreary. We've had nothing but blue skies. I think the temp was about 60 degrees yesterday. I think it's going to be about 67 today. I've already been down to the park once, and I know I'm going to go again. Anyhow, today I want to talk about 100% raw food diet, variety, and doing the best you can. Guys, I do videos every day, so if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please go down and hit that big red subscribe button right now. Then click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. This stuff I've talked about before. I've just been getting a number of questions lately. I think I've got new people over here that have kind of migrated over from Instagram. And I haven't necessarily shared in the same way over there, but it always bears repeating. 100% raw food diet. That's like the big thing, the holy grail for a lot of people. I've done it, been there, done that. My views on it, listen. If I was back home, I do best on 100% fully raw food diet. That's just how it is. But I don't obsess about that. I don't try to eat things that I don't think are the best for me, or just eat stuff just to keep it raw. Never going to do that. Never going to do that here in the States. You know, even though I don't have the abundance that I did in Costa Rica. In Costa Rica, you're just doing it. You know, like I said, when I lived at the beach, especially at the beach where it's hot, you know, you just do it. You do it. You don't want your house. Most of us didn't use air conditioning during the day. You didn't want your house getting all hot. And plus you were going out in just really heavy heat, and it just doesn't feel good to be, you know, full of food or especially full of that heavy cooked food when you're out in the heat like that. Now, once again though, I'm not an extremist or a fanatic about it. In fact, I've joked before that even if once I get back to a place where I can do 100% raw all the time, I can do it easily and don't even have to think about it, I'll eat a little bit of cooked at least once a month or so, just so I can't claim that 100% fully raw label. I think that's about the silliest thing I've ever seen. Grown people trying to wear it as a badge of, I'm fully raw. I'm not just raw, I'm fully raw. I never eat cooked food. Good for you. Good for you. Nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying, take the obsession part out of it. Don't make that your, end all be all. You're spending all your time on social media defending the fully raw food diet. Yeah, it is the best for me. Not going to lie about it. I felt, I don't know. I mean, it is the best for me, but I still feel really good right now, but maybe not quite as good as I felt, that last 6 months when I was in Costa Rica and I was just getting epic fruit all the time. Which brings me to the next thing, the part of it too, is variety. Yeah. I get that a lot on Instagram. I get that a lot here too. And it's like, well, you don't have that much variety. Why don't you have more variety? Variety. I'm in South Alabama. Listen, I'm always looking all over the place. I try to keep as much variety as I can around the house. Now, certain times of the year, that's not a problem. Lately, it's been on Instagram, people just saying I'm nothing but bananas because I haven't been getting some of the things I seemed to be getting last year. Haven't been getting mangoes. But I went to I finally felt good enough to go down to Pensacola and went to the Asian market the other day, like I told you, and got a couple of boxes of mangoes. Over here, I'm looking at it right now, I got a papaya at the Mexican grocery the other day because the one I got, what was it, about a week and a half ago, turned out to be pretty good. Wasn't epic, wasn't anything you're going to go like, wow, but it was pretty good. So right now, I've stocked back up on oranges. So right now, it's not so, I do have a little bit of variety. In the house right now, I got more bananas than you can even imagine. I just bought a box of oranges that has about 88 in there, and I maybe used 12 to juice this morning. I've got the mangoes and I've got the papaya. Now, when I was in Costa Rica, there was always variety. And yes, I do encourage that. If you're in a place where you're getting, a number of fruits, get as much variety as possible. Now I had my favorites, you know, it was always about the mango when I went to the markets, or that was the main thing. But, you know, any given week when I shopped, when I was back in Costa Rica, or any given time at that little house that I was watching in Costa Rica, I had, of course, bananas in the house. That's no big deal. I always had pineapple. I always had papaya. I always had mango. That last 6 months or so, I usually almost always had mamey sapote in the house. And there's a number of other fruits that I could have had that other people seem to really dig, that I never really ate a lot down there. Guanabana or soursop. Some people swear by it, and I like it okay, and I've frozen it and put it in stuff before, but it's kind of neutral to me. It doesn't really have all that much of a definitive taste, or at least it didn't to me. But the point being is, yeah, when I was in a situation where I could get it, I kept variety around all the time, you know. I had, well, besides what I just mentioned there, I also had a orange juice connection and a sugarcane connection. I also had good connections on the greens. So yeah, I would say if let's say my varieties was like this in Costa Rica, it's probably about like down here. And you know, now I don't get the greens that I like up here. And you can give me all your little tips. Every time I mention that, somebody wants me to start a little mini garden in the window and do this and that, blah, 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 blah. I'm in the deep South. You do what you do. In a small town in the deep South, there's just not that much of an option for greens. So I do what I can do. I'm also thinking I'm going to get back on that green boost here pretty soon, because I'm not getting the greens like I want to get them. But I'm still thankful for what I get. I'm looking down there at and I need to put it in the fridge, my bag of kale. I do get big bags of kale, and people ask me, I don't get a bit of organic. Let me just say that. I don't get one bit of organic. I'm in a small town in South Alabama, and people go, well, what are your thoughts on that? I'm like, what do you mean, or what are my thoughts on that? I eat organic if I can. I don't have any available, so we do have a McDonald's, a Burger King, and a Church's Chicken in this town, Popeyes too, so what should I do? I'm not getting organic fruit and vegetables, so maybe, I guess until I get back to where I can get organic, maybe I just start, I don't know, going through the drive-thru or whatever. Sometimes people say things and you're just like, okay, what are you really thinking, you know? What are my options, you know? I don't have anything anywhere close to me organic, but it is what it is. And finally, the last part of the title there, doing the best you can. That's what it's always about. Always making the best, and that's part of what life's about. And I'm trying to train myself to do that and not worry about, like, if I have a decision to make and I don't see the option that I would ideally want, I always try to make the best decision in the moment with what I have. And that's what I would suggest you do. And that's why I talk about sometimes not being so obsessive about the raw part of it that you won't eat any cooked, that you're probably not getting as good a nutrition on the raw as you could if you added some of that cooked in, which will go against the grain of all the fully raw foodists out there, like sweet potatoes. Like I say, you know, I eat sweet potatoes here in the States. I have to sometimes just to keep this weight on. But you do the best you can. You make the best choices you can. That's what it's always about. And I don't want to see people having this obsession. It's almost like it's a fail. Anything other than fully raw is a fail. That's not true. That's not true. Just anyhow you do it, a plant-based diet's probably going to be better than your standard American diet. You know, if you're doing the best you can, if you're trying to do the SOS free, like the salt, oil, and sugar, whole food, plant-based, I just don't want to see anybody beating themselves up over that. Now, if you can get lots of fruit, I would say eat as much fruit as possible. Or anyway, that's kind of my way of doing it. When I had the fruit available to me in just unlimited quantities, oh man, I ate a ton of fruit. I ate so much fruit. I mean, there were even days where I just ate fruit for dinner. And even the thing too that I kind of miss a little bit, even though I don't get the greens like I mentioned, is having the abundance of fruit for some of my salad dressings and recipes too. Like I used to use mangoes in salad dressing all the time. But to wrap it up, we do, once again, just kind of repeat myself, you do the best you can. And you don't worry about things that are outside of your control. If you want to change it, then move from where you are. You know, you've got two choices: either make the best of where you are with what you have, or you bounce, you pick up and you go somewhere else. But in the end, always just do the best you can. Don't obsess over that 100%. And yeah, try to get as much variety in as possible, because even if we don't necessarily need it, let me play devil's advocate for a minute, and let's say we don't necessarily need all the variety when it comes to the fruit and the food and whatever. It's good. You know, as much as I like mangoes, I still like my papayas. Just because I had unlimited mangoes in Costa Rica didn't mean I only ate mangoes all the time, 24/7, although I ate a lot of them. So variety is just kind of our natural, you know, we like a little bit of variety. But anyhow, just my 2 cents worth to start the week. Hope you guys enjoyed this one today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.